Dropbox users were surprised this week to discover that a new default setting enabled the sharing of their personal data with OpenAI, who's the owner of ChatGPT. Concerns have quickly arisen with this feature, which shares Dropbox data, including documents and files, as part of an AI alpha search tool. Despite assurances from Dropbox that data shared with third-party AI partners is not used to train AI models and is deleted within 30 days, some customers remain uneasy. Does your business use Dropbox? What does that mean for you and your company? I'll be discussing that today, as well as how you can turn off that setting if you wish. Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. I am Michael Kinnett. I'm the CEO. I'm the founder of Eternal Networks. And every Friday at 1 p.m., I go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on LinkedIn to discuss the latest in technology, cybersecurity news that might affect you and your business. And I also try to give some tips and tricks to help you better understand technology and cybersecurity. At the end of the live session, I'll make sure to leave some time to answer questions from the audience. So if you have any business, technology, or cybersecurity questions, I'll cover those at the end. Feel free to throw them in the chat, add a comment, and I'll cover those at the end. First, the news for today. We're going to be talking a little bit about, last week I talked about several breaches with healthcare organizations. And guess what? This week, I've got 3 new ones to talk about. Last week, I think I shared 3. 'Tis the season, right? I mean, some of the breaches I'm going to share and talk about today happened much earlier this year and were just finally disclosed to the full extent. Others happened more recently, within the last few weeks. So first off, we're going to talk about Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center in Seattle. They're a cancer clinic. They have multiple locations. They were involved in a breach in November that resulted in the potential breach of patient data. Now, it's important to note the forensics is still underway. So far, what Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center is saying that their forensic analysts are telling them is that there's no indication patient data was breached. They detected the breach. They isolated systems. They did everything that they should. And so currently, like I said, forensics is still underway. They're not entirely sure the full extent of it, but the threat actors claim to have over 500 gigabytes of data, including some patient records. And they are stating that they're going to release that data on the dark web if their ransom/blackmail payment is not made. Another one, this one's a little closer to home. Delta Dental of California has had the information of almost 7 million people stolen after the MoveIt transfer breach from earlier this year. Delta Dental provides dental insurance to over 45 million people across 15 states, including Nevada. I have had Delta Dental in the past, so I know that it's a common provider here within the state of Nevada. If you're a customer of Delta Dental, it's highly recommended to be extremely cautious, more cautious than normal with any unsolicited communications, as your data may have already been shared with phishing actors, scammers, and other cyber criminals. So just beware of that. Next, U.S. healthcare giant Norton. This is a Kentucky-based nonprofit healthcare organization. They've confirmed that personal data of millions of patients and employees was stolen during a ransomware attack. This one actually happened back in May. Norton did not pay the ransom. They've been working with law enforcement and digital forensics teams over the last several months to determine the full extent of the damages. And now that final report has been completed, they're disclosing information that records were taken, and they'll be contacting individuals and letting them know about that. So the continual attacks on healthcare organizations within the United States continues. The holidays, we usually see an uptick in cybercrime, in scams, and other phishing attacks and other things. So just be extra cautious, be extra vigilant, be wary of any of those unsolicited communications. Question any text that comes in, any email that comes in. Just be very careful this time of year, especially. Now, on to our topic for the day. We're going to be talking a little bit about this recent change in Dropbox. So Dropbox CEO Drew Houston, he's addressed some data privacy concerns on X, formerly known as Twitter, clarifying that the third-party AI toggle in settings grants control over the AI access, ensuring that no automatic or passive sharing of customer data with third-party AI services. So this new feature came out. It's been enabled by default. The CEO is trying to mitigate concerns and damages and stuff, but the reality of it is that there's a new setting, there's a new feature. While some people may love it, some people may hate it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that feature. So despite the AI and privacy FAQ page outlining their security measures, many Dropbox users have been expressing a desire to deactivate this Dropbox sharing with AI. Fortunately, opting out of these new AI features, including data sharing with OpenAI, is a pretty easy process. So if you have Dropbox and you want to go in and disable this, I'll pause here for a second, give you some time. You can go pull up your Dropbox account. You can log in. I would demo it, but I don't have a business Dropbox account to be able to show you these steps, but I do have the directions from Dropbox. So log into your Dropbox account. Once you're logged into Dropbox, you're going to click on your profile photo at the very top right. It might just be your initials if you don't have a profile photo loaded in. Once you're in your profile, then you're going to click on settings, and then you're going to scroll down to the third-party AI section of settings. In that section, there will be a switch next to use artificial intelligence AI from third-party partners so you can work faster in Dropbox. Just switch that to turn it off. Once you do that, there will not be sharing of data, documents, and information back and forth between the two tools. So now that I've explained how to turn it off, let's talk a little bit about what if you want to turn it on? What if you want to use it? What does that mean? What is it going to do? So let's chat a little bit about that. Once you've enabled it, there are some other things that I'm trying to make not to be too technical on this here as I'm explaining it to you. So according to a Dropbox spokesperson, turning that on provides customers access to the new AI features, including the Dropbox AI, which doesn't necessarily mean you're going to immediately get all these new features. So we're going to talk about some of these. It's the first step in adding and enabling additional features within Dropbox. So just to be clear on this, on how it functions and how it works. Dropbox has been fairly straightforward in trying to communicate and be transparent in it. The fact that they turn it on by default could be a little bit pushy, but they are trying to be upfront and forward and stuff. So if you go on their website, you can find more information about this and better understand it and kind of where it's going to. But I do want to talk a little bit about what the features do currently and what the capabilities are that they're adding. So Dropbox introduced some new AI tools in July of this year. They had a blog post about it, and those features allow users to conduct searches across platforms like Google Workspace and Microsoft Outlook, leveraging some AI to streamline the process and to enhance the efficiency and the power behind that search tool to save time for workers. Dropbox has referred to a McKinsey report indicating that knowledge workers spend 8.8 hours per week on unproductive app switching for file and content searches. So they're trying to solve this. They're trying to simplify this through the use of AI. So users can interact with the tool akin to a chatbot like ChatGPT and ask it questions about files. And then answers get pulled in and start. So by adding the integration with ChatGPT, they're giving more power, more benefits through the use of ChatGPT, their algorithms, their models, their AI bots learning. But they're also allowing that chatbot access to all the internal data in your Dropbox, all your files. So why is this a concern to you? Anytime you're working with a third-party vendor and that third-party vendor has access to your confidential data, you have to start asking the questions of, is this vendor going to protect the data that they have of mine? Are they going to secure it, right? So first if you're going to use Dropbox, you have to ask the questions, is Dropbox secure enough to trust the files and data that I'm putting in Dropbox? That's a business question you have to make. Do you trust that vendor? Are you going to use them? Now that vendor is integrating with a third-party vendor, with OpenAI, with ChatGPT, now you have to say, okay, well, I trust Dropbox, or maybe you don't, and you're not using Dropbox, which is fine. But the same scenario applies to OneDrive, Box.net, like any of the other file sharing applications. It still applies. I'm just using Dropbox as the example in this case. So if Dropbox or your file sharing tool now is integrating with a third-party vendor and sharing your files and your data, now there's the question of, can you trust that other vendor to protect it in the same manner that you want it protected? So in some ways, you're losing control of that data and the content that's in there. Now, despite Dropbox saying, hey, it's going to be deleted after 30 days, it's not being used to learn, there's still a lot of unknowns in ChatGPT and how it is learning, how it's storing data, how it's doing various different components of it, and where it's going with that. So it could be a business concern for you. It could not. My personal opinion, I don't use Dropbox for my business data. I do not have OpenAI getting access to my confidential business data. I want to gain control of that in my organization. Now, that being said, there is some data that I have a personal Dropbox account, and there's some data that I share in there, and it's a great platform. I also use OpenAI and ChatGPT within our business and give it access to certain data. So the important thing is to analyze your overall strategy when it comes to AI and what type of data you're willing to feed into it to get the benefits of AI and ChatGPT and all these other additional efficiency and productivity improvements. So do I recommend you don't use Dropbox? Do I recommend that you don't use OpenAI? No, absolutely not. What I think is it comes down to a business decision, and you have to really analyze all different aspects, especially around cybersecurity. So you need to evaluate your vendors, whether it's Dropbox, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, right? Any of the software vendors that you utilize, you have to then evaluate them. Okay, are they secure? Are they protecting my data? Perfect example, this is going back a few years. Target, everybody probably knows about the big Target data breach that happened 5-6 years ago. They were breached from their HVAC vendor. Their HVAC vendor had a connection on their network to integrate with some of the controls. And the HVAC vendor was not properly protecting their devices. Hackers got in. From there, they moved laterally across the network. They escalated privileges. They got into the Target network. And then you have this massive Target credit card data breach. Similar thing could happen if you're utilizing Dropbox and OpenAI ChatGPT. If ChatGPT is hacked by threat actors and they have access to your Dropbox data, guess what? Those threat actors have access to your Dropbox data. There's other scary scenarios that I'm not going to go through that could happen from that. So once again, I'm not saying ChatGPT or OpenAI are not secure, that not to utilize them, but you need to evaluate, do you trust them enough to give them data, and what data are you going to give them, and make sure that your organization has an AI policy on how to use AI effectively within your organization, what's authorized, what's not, and then just make sure that you're applying that in any use of AI, whether it's through this Dropbox integration or something else. If staying informed about the latest software and hardware policy changes is crucial for your business, our team is here to assist. We recognize that the importance of staying current in the fast-paced tech world, and we offer our expertise to help keep you informed and aligned with the latest regulations and news in the industry. Our dedicated team is committed to providing seamless support, ensuring your software and hardware policies remain compliant and tailored to your business needs, including AI policies that I just talked about. You can message me or my team today if you'd like more information on Dropbox or any other services that you'd like to check up on. And I'll post a link in the comments so you can schedule an appointment. Just a reminder of our upcoming live webinar, December 21st at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be addressing the #1 cyber threat to your company and some actionable steps that you can follow to mitigate those risks. We're going to discuss the essential role of a data plan and the potential impact on your business if not implemented. So come join us. It's a free training session. It's your opportunity to fortify your business and help ensure that you're ready to go for a strong and successful 2024. Seats are limited, so we're asking that you register now. We'll post a link in the chat and hope to see you on December 21st at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I don't see any questions or comments popping up here in the chat. If you do have any questions, comments, post them in the chat, post them in the comments, send me I don't know, is it still called a tweet now that it's not Twitter, on X? Join us for our next live stream, ask questions live, email me, contact us on our website, itnet.work. So we've got lots of ways you can get in touch with us. Love to hear from you, love to answer your questions and to talk about whatever topics are of interest to you. So have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you next week.